it's 2 years.
We'll see you in 1.15.
Yeah.
Oh, easy for you. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm sure everybody appreciates your ease of fixing. Easy. That's good. Cool.
In 1.15.
Okay, good. Easy. One or two more things to discuss, but we want to have people start lining up for questions. So if you have a question for anyone on the panel about mods, Modpacks, there's a microphone in the back there. This gentleman in red is waving his hand. Start forming a line back there. And while you guys are lining up, I'm going to ask the group another question. And, you know, easier probably. So I'll quickly touch on. So since you all develop Modpacks, what do you think is important when you're developing a pack? What are some of the processes you go through, and what are some of the things that are important for anybody who might be interested in developing their own pack?
For me, the biggest thing is balance, and basically making it so that you cannot, I mean, especially if it's something that's supposed to be a pack that you don't jump in and immediately want in the first few hours, right? You want something that if you put a mod and you want to be able to work towards it based on, you know, it should fit, you know, for instance, you know, something that gives you a sword that's going to do insane amounts of damage. You want that to be something that you want to get you a sword, if at all. You know, you don't want the game to feel like you've acquired something or you've built something that is going to take you and coast you through the rest of the game. Because at the end of the day, that's not exciting for somebody unless you really just like to, you know, run around a BOP and not really have something that you're working towards. The other thing that is really important to me in this music background is that phrasing, essentially, you know, how long it takes to get from point A to B to C, you know, all the way through. So you don't feel like if you're doing a quest-based mod pack or something, or you're going for item A, going for item B, you want to feel like they're just hard enough to reach, but not so. You want to. It's frustrating.
Or feels like a grind.
Yeah. And some grind is good in certain places, but you have to be really. You have to know where those are going to be, so the player feels like that. Ultimately, want some player to play, you know, all these hours, but it feels like player spend so fast because they feel like everything just quickly runs through. But really, ultimately, it took you a lot longer. So it's so ultimately and phrasing is really important to me.
This might sound like a given, but it's fun. The pack should be fun. That shouldn't get you. You want to have a reason to go, I want to get home from school, from work, and I want to go play. And when you fit in and you're having your dinner or you're sitting there going to bed, you're going, I should do it this way. Maybe if I change that, or it engages you. It's fun. That to me is probably the rule that I always come back to. On top of that, you talk about the balance of it, because you need that balance to make it fun. Because what one person will find fun, that will find really boring. Or another person will find exciting. So you've got to try and find a way to get as much fun as possible for all people, but in a way that doesn't annoy and unloving people too. Sometimes that actually comes down to multiple packs, where one pack might be a hardcore, typically challenge, but still has some balance and some fun and some excitement. The other one might be a let's go crazy and build mega structures and, you know. So you make a pack depending upon the contents of what is fun, what's going to engage you.
I was going to add on to what they've said, because I kind of agree with all their points as well, but a big thing for me also now, after doing Affinity Expert Mode, is longevity of a pack. I think 1.7.10 was such a long period of modded Minecraft that I needed to develop something that you could play for 6 months and not, like Dark Asta was saying, something that's overpowered and be done in a week. So that was big. And then for me also developing Modpacks is I'll sit back and actually play it. Play is really important for me. Like you said, I want to make sure it's a fun pack. You can just throw a bunch of random mod scare, it doesn't make sense, and a lot of times it's not fully fun. So I usually develop Infinity to be fun because it's just an open world default mod pack. We try to put as much balance as possible into it, but we still want it to be fun. And then after that, I focus on performance. What things can I disable, like certain sounds that might lag Java a lot. And I try to just focus on to get your computer the best and to get your server the best TPS, I guess. So yeah, those are big for me.
These guys are going to hate me in a second because I'm going to spring some surprises on them.
They already hate you slow.
Yeah, so one of the things that's actually come from this Minecon for us is we've been speaking to various people. some new ideas for Modpacks in the future. Some of the ideas actually goes completely against what Dark Officer said. It came from a fairly big streamer who wants us to make a pack that's extremely overpowered. Like where we don't care back that's back on balance, where you can just go and do whatever you want, whenever you want, and the back have a lot of fun doing it, and we don't care about balance. If that's what
It really goes to what, Jim?
yeah.
Sorry,
I think it's really almost, it's not now about exactly, but he wants a really, really big fun pack where we don't care about balance, and it's just, you know, silly. Exactly. And then the other one that I've been speaking, actually already had people starting work on it, and these guys still don't know about actually. It's going to be funny. Is actually, I don't think I've seen yet a mod pack that is aimed. I don't at very young Minecraft players. I say that, I'm talking about like between 5 and 8 months. And it's becoming more aware now that people who are in that area are playing a lot of Minecraft. And we should maybe be catering to those people as well. And because it's a fantastic audience and they're incredibly creative. So I think we're going to design a really fun, bright, colourful guys as well, so that they can all join in and play. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then there's a couple of ideas that we've got, hopefully for 110, that we're still waiting to confirm that we can actually ideas that we've got. But what's going to be really cool for this next coming version is we're now going to be working on creating our own mods and our own content. And we're bringing some more developers on board to help bring some custom content. And we've got some fantastic ideas. I know Darko has been working really closely with Baking Dough. It's fantastic ideas, developing free, to bring some unique stuff to that mod pack. I know that T-Fox has been working with a couple of different mod developers to bring some really cool stuff to FTB Infinity when they come out. So I'm really looking to the next 12 months in Minecraft. I think it's going to be a fantastic build to the mod developers and mod pack developers.
In terms of creating a mod pack yourself, if it's your first mod into the mod pack, I would probably try and stick to making something that you want to play yourself. Because if you want to play it, then there's a good chance that somebody else is going to want to play it. And that tends to be the way, whenever I put a pack together, that's the way I approach it. I put stuff in that I want to play and sort of make it work for me, and then hopefully there are other people that want to play the same way.
Alright, so let's open up for some questions. Mark at the left microphone and we'll switch over to the right one next. So, thank you for getting up. What's your question, sir?
Yeah, so what one thing do you think Mojang could do to make, or could do right now to make modding community easier or help out the modding community?
I see as you asked that, Sarge is getting up and walking down the room.
The answer is they're never going to do it, but the actual answer is recognise Forge officially.
Yeah, or
They do it, so, and it's understandable why there are reasons why they're not going to do it. But to be fair, to counter that, they're already doing a lot of things now that help make our lives much easier. Doing modding in Minecraft now is a far better process than it was a few years ago, and we speak to the people at Mojang and it's a fantastic experience. And, like, it is already getting better. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, I'll say that, Sarge, you just had to go or something. He's worked closely with modders for a long time. He was literally hired by Mojang because of his work on working on mods and over, making mods possible at the beginning. So, I mean, there's a lot of behind-the-over communication to make things better, but, good question, thanks. Are we on right?
Do we have a question for my
friend,
creator for us?
he manages a
That's
pack
so
and
fun.
it's like
My creator does
like the
right
biggest
now.
1.10 packs.
What?
It's still
This
it's like
week is not by my creator.
and
I know,
it's
but
little
does he have a
packs
question?
that they protect.
Do we have a question that he wants to
we're
ask?
trying
Does he
to
want
find
us to give him a question to
more
ask?
mods for
Oh, fuck it. Tabs and
more
spaces.
balanced
Tabs and
mods.
spaces.
How do you find balanced mods?
Wait, he's too tired.
Actually, we need to thing.
this is with a lot of
Okay,
mods.
yeah.
A lot of mods will do this off the bat, where they will
Sweetie,
a
stop.
mod in its description in wherever you're finding it, the Minecraft forum or the curse page, is not necessarily going to tell you this. It's gonna, you're gonna have to download the mod and open it up and file it, because even Project EE mods that are generally meant to, or the thought of doesn't mean that you cannot balance them and make them work in your mod pack. I took Project EE and I made it balanced in my own mod pack. Which was extremely difficult, but you can do it based on all you have available to you. You have Mind Tweaker, which is now Craft Tweaker. You have Mod Tweaker. You have access to changing recipes within machines for other mods. You can go in and even for instance, Simply Jetpacks had a wonderful config file. Wild and I had a discussion about this yesterday. You can change the first file to be, to last 10 seconds, or you can have longer, fuel requirements. Every mod, we hope that every mod is a great config file. So don't just take it by face value. I say, this mod looks to be overpowered. Download it, open it, see what configs offer you, and you can make it be balanced for your own.
I would also say, other resources, don't try to do it all yourself. Minecraft forums has a section on mods. Reddit has a section on mods. The section on forums is a very, very active section on mods, and there's a lot of them we were talking about what they're actually working with there. Use them resources to your benefit. But also, one other thing, and this is something I've said for a long time, I'm sure these guys will all agree, the skill in making mod pack a long time is not what mods to put in, it's what mods to leave out. So I think you need to keep adding to a mod pack if it's already good. If you've got a really good mod pack now, mean doing something right. That means you don't necessarily need to keep adding new content to it. If you've got it, keep sticking to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so in the mod pack, is there like any mod pack or mod that you can't play without? Like for me, it's applied energistics to you. So
You'll have to now. Sorry.
So, actually, do we have any questions? I think no, because
I don't think we can really ask them unless someone wants to probably her.
Basically, there's about
Yeah.
in story control.
maybe we'll ask them, do they know something about VM?
All these little
Did you know that people are watching your stream live right on Minecraft right now?
Why not?
without an experiment where I've gone.
But no, we've already done that. The only way we can actually top it is to have him show the screen.
It is possible. So I think it's actually important for us as just people who enjoy the game to do that. Or even if that's in the pack, find a different way of doing it. Explore what's possible. Otherwise we get blinking and stuck with this, oh my god, I have to have this and it hasn't been updated and I'm stressing out. It's a game. Go and enjoy it. Go and find a different way of doing it.
And a lot of new mods showing up in 1.10 that are different from what existed in single 1.7. So it's refreshing to see, not the same old mods that people in Solar have seen every version, right? We're seeing some new stuff show up, so that's pretty cool.
I think the only default mod that we put in every single payment is mod. So we've got used to inventory tweaks from 1.7. There's different versions that come up in 1.10, but I think that's the only thing.
Any IRJ,
Yeah.
Or you need someone to look up recipes.
Yes.
Mouse tweaks. Once you start using mouse tweaks, you never want a game.
Who tells you that?
It's going to be in the 110 packs.
I've never tried it.
There was bugs in 1.7, that's why I didn't use it.
There we go.
1.7,
This is one of those mods that if you never used it and something happens to put it in the pack or you manage to put it in there, it's a mod. See what it does. You will want to put it in every pack that you use. It doesn't add any cost. It's just convenience at its highest one. It's a wonder.
I'll write that down. Next question.
One mod.
What is the mod you should never put in your mod pack? What is...
Dirty diamonds.
thermal expansion.
I'm not going to say mechanism. There might be something that get that here. That's coming in now.
as long as I can get it first or from the Minecraft forums, I mean, I'll give it a shot and see. And, you know, I keep politics out of everything with mods, so if it's a good mod, it's a good fit in what I'm developing, I'll use mods. So there's really I don't look for anything, you know, no reason not to try it, basically. I mean, unless, like you said, the diamonds, that just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
But that could be an overpowered mod.
Yeah, even
Now
now,
it's got AC3.
That's such a diamonds. Just a lot of dirt.
here's a real answer to that question. Like, there's, is it Tree Capital, the one that...
Yeah.
No, so here's a real answer. If you're putting in something like Tree Capitator, which is a great mod, works really well, but it's putting in the functionality of an item that you would get later on in the game, like in Tinker's Construct or something like that, don't do that. What you're doing is diminishing the mod, the balance of what you're doing, what you mod later on in the mod pack. So that's the real answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Next question.
Direwolf, I've heard that you review mods, is that correct?
Yes.
So how many mods have you reviewed as a total?
Wow.
Let me get on Google real quick. Hold on.
That's a good question. We should find that answer.
I mean, it's got to be in the hundreds, right?
Yeah, we should find it, of course, I would think.
Yeah. And there's more coming. There's going to be, now that 110 mods are ready to stabilize, so a lot of mod developers have come to me and said, I don't want you to do the start on Spotlight yet because my mod's not stable, it's not ready for public consumption. But now that that's starting to happen, like, over the past week, I've had like 5 mod developers say, like, can you do a mod Spotlight? And I'm like, yeah, maybe when I get back from Minecon. So, yep. Wow.
And will you be doing a meet and greet after this?
So there will be a meet and greet probably out in the hallway as long as we don't get yelled at and told not to. So yeah, anybody who does want to say hi or meet and greet, etc., we'll be right out in the hallway after this. Thanks.
How long does it take to make a direwolf? How long?
I don't know.
30 minutes. About 30 minutes.
Yeah, about before lunchtime, generally. He's very simple, and he wants to... He wants a very default mod pack. He wants to play the mod pack as the mod developer intended the mod to be played. So he doesn't like when we disable things from the mod unless it's for performance reasons or something along those lines. So he just wants a default. So when we grab his pack, we throw everything together. If it launches, then we start testing. And then we send it to him. He's really happy. And that's it.
It usually about 2 hours, but then we got the curse client, and that's fantastic.
It's like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's great.
We don't tell him that.
My mod pack, I intend for people to learn the mods, right? So if I make major drastic changes to the way the mods work, people are going to use my pack, and then they're going to go to another pack and be like, it's not how Dyer showed me it worked. It's not. What? He lied. And so I want people to learn the mods from my pack. So that's why they're in the default.
A lot of testing goes into his pack, though. Building the pack is a very, very small. It's 5% of the process. And then the other 95% is testing, ability, and another big thing is all the cross mod. It's like, will this pipe crash when you hook into this machine from a different mod? Right. The crashes the mod developers don't get on their own because they're generally testing their mod to their own environment. But when you start...
recipe conflict.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
2 items from different mods have the same recipe. And
So that takes, I would say, usually from the start when you list saying, hey, this is what I want in my pack, it's about a 1-month process because before you guys will have it on the launcher.
Right.
Thank you. You answered both my questions.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm a really big mod fan, and I have 2 questions for the PicoBTM. Number 1, are you still gonna be packs for 1710?
No.
Okay then.
To be fair, it's not that 1710 is bad, it's just that we kind of understand that part of PicoBTM's responsibility is to help move mods forward. And that's why... Yeah, go on.
I have a different style of mod pack. What about like a big pack where it's like sole purpose is to like have crazy amounts of fun, like maybe put lucky blocks there, or maybe put like insane fun mods like that.
So that's what I was saying before, that we've been asked to make a pack that's just generally completely overpowered and ridiculous and silly. And Lucky Blocks is one of those mods that would probably fit in there because it's completely overpowered and ridiculous and silly, so yeah.
Thank you very much.
So firstly, the applied energistics is being updated, so you won't have to wait for that very long. Okay. Wait for that very long. Secondly, mechanism is awesome. Actual question, what are the requirements to mod pack features on FTB?
On FTB?
You mean a mod or a mod pack?
Mod pack.
That curse handles the featuring of mod. That's not Feed the Beast.
Are you talking about on the FTB launcher?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they still do it anymore because we're deprecating our launcher in the near future and we're putting all of our stuff onto the Curse client, and it's just something that we've been working towards for the last couple of years. I mean, and some people might wonder why, but Feed the Beast originated as a mod pack developer, and we only put it just to make things easier for everybody else. And we don't have the facilities, we certainly didn't used to have the facilities to just keep plowing development into it, and Curse came along and they do have those facilities. I do that. I will tell you this though, that Curse is really, really good for featuring new mod packs as well. Like, it's not stuck to just the Feed the Beast client. So as far as your answer goes, I don't actually featuring any more new ones, but I can check. I think I'll tweet it out and let you know if that is wrong. West Watchful is the guy who runs the third-party system.
Do we feature a pack in our newsletter, I think monthly basis or 2 monthly basis?
Yeah.
And on a month. And that's basically just chosen by Watchful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is your opinion on the Technic launcher, and is it still viable?
Let me answer your question honestly. Like, there used to be a problem between Feed the Beast and Technic because we had different philosophies in it. That problem doesn't exist anymore, and it hasn't done for a long time. The Technic launch or the Technic team now, to my best knowledge, they don't really even compete with Feed because they are primarily a launcher and then it's not a mod pack development company. And their main focus these days is the distribution of third-party mod packs. The difference between the way that they do it and the way that we do it is when it comes to the mod packs, on the Technic launcher are basically hosted on servers that are controlled by the people who make the mod packs. And on the Feed the Beast launcher, all of the mod packs that are distributed through the Beast launcher are hosted on our servers. So we can do every single one of them to make sure that the integrity is good and the mods are. It's just a different way of doing things. I wouldn't advise you to use it, I would advise you to not use it because I don't spend a lot of time anymore looking at what they do. And it's the same for the 18 launcher. I don't spend a huge amount of time looking at what they do because we have our way of doing it. And that's the way we've always done it, it's the way we always do it, is to make sure that the people in mod packs, we want to know that what you're getting has been begun by people who know what they're doing and that content is safe. So that's the real answer. Again.
Is there any plans for adding support for is there any light loader or other custom triggers into Curse or light loader or TV?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they already do, don't they?
Light loader can be loaded through jar.
Yeah, it's just a jar. You just drop your mods for it, right?
Yeah. And for the featured packs, there's going to be a process soon where people can apply their packs to be featured.
For those that didn't hear you, that was one of the guys from Kurt. So what he was basically saying is light load support is basically already loaded for the jar. And somebody asked before about featured packs, and they're working on that process now.
Yeah, there will be an application process for it.
Apply for it, basically.
So you can apply.
Well, thanks.
That's
So, with the increasing amount of mods that kind of integrate Minecraft, like the horses and the different new animals and the new mechanics, do you ever think that some of your mod packs will become obsolete?
Never. We're the people, I'm not going to diss Mojang, but it's very, very hard to find a piece of content that they add that wasn't already added in by a mod. And no matter how good they are, they're a team of, I don't know how many's working on Java now, is it 10 people or something? I don't know, sorry.
We're 5 people.
5 people, so that's 5 people. Right. The mod development world is thousands of people. There's no way they could even remotely try to keep up with the mod development world. They'll always be ahead of a monster. I can't say I've seen cursed enchantments either, which is what they... Is that unique, I think, maybe?
We don't look at mod, we have no idea.
You never played a mod in your life, have you? Never. No, I'm not even remotely aware.
I think at the end of the day, you can play vanilla, and modders or people aspiring modders are going to play vanilla, and it's nothing against Mojang or any other that people mod. People are always going to play those games, and something isn't going to work the way they'd like it to, and they're going to make a mod to do that. Something, in their opinion, or something is needing to be tweaked, and there's many people out there that just want to add that. So any game that has small, big, medium, whatever, have more people, less people, there's always somebody who wants to add something. So I don't think that it's ever going to be obsolete for any.
All right, and also one more thing. Do you ever have like fun glitches that you think are so like hilarious, or have like fun that you keep them in the game, or even make them part of the mod?
We find a lot of glitches. Some of them are kind of fun, but I try to get rid of all of them if possible. There's some that in vanilla Minecraft that unfortunately we can't really do much about, but we try not to advertise them, obviously.
Most fun glitch we ever had, they took out the game themselves. And that was when you used to have the minecarts. If anybody remembers old Minecraft, we used to have the booster tracks with the minecarts, you'd stack tons of them on top of each other, and then you could shoot them off. That was the most fun thing. I'm sorry, Grum, I know you're like, it's true. Everybody loved that, and then you just went and took our toys away.
That's what you get for attending this panel. Thank you. Next question.
So what's your favorite mod pack?
Honestly, to be completely honest, my favorite mod pack and the reason that I got started into making mod packs, probably HS3. That was the first mod pack I ever played because I didn't think or any better, and I thought it was I watched people play things much better than I, so I said, let's get UHS. It sounds great, having only played vanilla, and it was just a horrible experience. My base was taken down by a tornado. But that probably is my favorite because that is the one that sparked my interest in making mod packs and looking more into it. So thank you for that. Actually looking more.
I love making that pack. Honestly, it goes back to the other side. Tycho made a pack called June of the Core, and I played that just after making Ultra Hard Survival and going through that and enjoying and really engaging in hardcore. And then this guy stepped it up to a whole new level with multiple dimensions, multiple ways for mobs to kill you. And the first time I did it, I was a screaming little thing in the corner, and that just excited me to play it more. And that realization that you've actually have beaten the pack, that you've actually gotten through the whole thing to the end, is the harder the game is, the more the whole thing to the end achievement that I felt with it. And to this day, I mean, I'm going through it. I loved Crash Landing, I loved my big open world packs, but that one, I always come back to that one really, really excited me.
I would say for me it was probably 1.4. Feed the Beast Ultimate was my favorite pack. That was really one heavily into playing mod packs and Feed the Beast. And I remember being able to start a world and playing for months on that world and not getting bored. Where a lot of stuff in 1 month when 2 was all based around EE2, and it was a great mod. But I 2 was the one I like to have a challenge kind of. Longevity one, you could, be pretty much in game in a few hours, it seemed like. So that one is where I loved Ultimate. So by far, it's probably my favorite pack as a player.
I'm going to answer too. Yeah. If I'm allowed to.
Go on. Anything that says Diary for the name.
It's not. It was Infinity Vault Expert Skyblock.
Yes.
I automation, and everything in that pack was you need to automate it, because if you don't, you'll spend hours. Pretty much.
Good, do you
So,
want to be a consultant on the next one?
no.
Okay.
So,
Good, George.
I'll test it.
Okay, fair enough.
I am kind of going to repeat.
Test it.
Okay, fair enough.
I am kind of going to repeat. I am kind of going to repeat.
Test it. Test it.
FTB Modpacks I've already mentioned. My used to be FTB Modpacks I've already mentioned. My used to be FTB because I thought that was amazing. It kind of just
Stream
I thought
dying.
that was amazing. It kind of just the ultimate was amazing. It worked. It was really weird how that happened. My current favorite mod worked.
There we go.
It was really weird how that happened. My current favorite mod it was really weird how that worked. The one I'm playing the most these days is
No
Skyblock
idea
Expert Mode.
how this
The
right
one I'm
might
playing the
do.
most these days is Skyblock Expert Mode. Like the
It's
word,
not
the one
an
I'm playing
issue
the
with
most these days.
It's
Where
not
C
an
Fox
issue
on
with
that
me
blew my
uploading
mind.
it
Some
to
of
the
the
server, I
work
think.
that Fox did on that blew my mind. It was just seen before and it just like it's because I had no involvement in the scene before and it just like it's because I had no involvement in the scene before and it just like it's because I had no involvement in the scene before and it just like it's because I had no involvement in the scene, the development of expert mode really, apart from a few little like the development quiet words.
You let me do it.
Yeah, I just let him get on with it and he quiet words.
You let me do it.
Yeah, I just let him get on with it and he
I think you even said that's a stupid idea, don't do it.
Yeah, you
I did actually say
I think you even said that's a stupid idea, don't do it.
Yeah, you
I did actually it was a really
Technically, I could
like
restart
we
the
had a lot
stream,
of
but
arguments because
it's probably going to create
it was
more
a
problems
really
themselves.
like we had a lot of arguments because it was a really like we had a lot of give you guys an idea, this is genuinely true, we're back with investigate. Give you guys an idea, this is genuinely true, we're back with investigate.
Oh, did the stream die? Okay, it seems to be bottlenecks. My connection to my server's fine. Oh!
Genuinely true, we're back with investigate. Give you guys an idea, this is genuinely true, we're back with investigate. Give you guys an idea, this is genuinely true, we're back with investigate.
Just because you see text on a screen doesn't mean it's been hacked. You might want to come up with some slightly more original jokes. Ah, shit. The stream's down. Oh, new stream. Let me just bash this in. And now let's start it. Worky bastard. There we go.
Give you guys an idea, this is genuinely true, we're back with investigate. Great idea, is there any mod developers here? There you go.
It's probably more relevant.
But that mod does exist.
The
That's a really
Telltale Games
well
one,
looked
so
at
they can just go get stuff.
Good idea.
Thank you.
I was, now blanking.
Don't worry, it happens every
Tell them
time.
the pack in order to basically act like a book
I'm
with
actually
the video
between
game
Modpacks right now,
and
so
write a
I'm
Minecraft
looking
success.
for suggestions on Modpacks. Something very tech, and I hate that.
And not make a very good book on it. That's
Well, okay, so, I mean, honestly, Infinity, FTB Infinity, expert mode, or just normal mode is a great, mod pack for that. Sky Factory is also a great pack. It has magic mods in it, but it's not, I mean, every mod in that mod pack, great for just, we've talked about this plenty of times, you don't have to do, they're not required. You can choose to do only a tech route. I mean, because Sky Factory was built, Bacon Donut was a big tech mod person, so that's basically what the mod pack is always really centered around. With Sky Factory and Deal with It are two great packs I think are great for that.
Yeah, we used to do, back a couple years ago, we would do a tech pack and a pack, and then we would do a big kitchen sink pack like Infinity. And on the downloads compared to what Infinity gets, it really wasn't worth our time to do that great packs. And now the performance is so much better, you might as well just load up a larger pack and ignore the magic stuff if you want to play with the tech stuff.
Yeah,
and then if you want to play with your friends and they want to do magic, you guys can play together. So that's how we look at it. As on the development side.
One of the specific things we actually tested with Infinity Expert Mode was that you could complete the tech and the magic pack independently of each other. Like, not...
Except for the very weird items we had at the last minute.
The very, very end goal items, you would need to do both. But for 95% of that mod pack, you don't need to touch magic at all.
Well, I was thinking,
You would...
for example, Thaumcraft has taint. I haven't played it so long, I don't know if they exist anymore. So something that would hinder my progress, that forces me to go into magic.
Well, Sky Factory, not Sky Factory, yes. Well, actually would do that because it doesn't have any taint.
Well, yeah, any pack that I work on, I turn the taint spread off.
Yeah, we do the same thing on all the FT.
Yeah, doesn't mean you might have the biome, but it's strictly stuck to that biome, and that's all you're going to see from us.
It's great. If these guys remember, it's really funny when Thaumcraft first updated to 1.7. It was, and we were on the Forgecraft server test and maintained.
Oh, it's 189. I was
it 189?
Yeah, everybody came to my base to say, I want to check out Thaumcraft. And all of a sudden it was like everywhere.
Because it was an exponential growth. So, like, we were getting the dust, about 10 of us, in creative mode to try and limit it. There's people here who obviously saw it. It was spreading so fast that we literally could not keep on top of it.
Well, there was a bug. Taint would go up and it was supposed to come down when taint effect happened, but we forgot to do the subtraction, so taint just stayed at the max level forever. And so there was just constant effects all around.
Point is, I'm with you on taint. Like,
There was being like it keeps these people away. I need a security. So, I think we might have one more quick question. We have 3 minutes left, and it's probably going to be 2 minutes in a second, so we got one more.
Well, that worked out pretty well for me, I guess.
One more.
So, just recently we heard the announcement of add-ons. From the modder's perspective, how do you think that'll affect you? What's your opinion on it? An official statement on Minecraft add-ons?
It shouldn't affect us because it's still two different markets. I am really, really happy that it's coming out. It introduces more vanilla players to the concept of adding new content to your game. And I think that, as far as we're concerned, it can only be a good thing. I'm really interested to take a closer look at it to see if it's something that we can get involved in. I don't know if that's the case yet, it's far too early to say. But yeah, anything that adds new content and is endorsed by Mojang is only good because it introduces people to that new idea of the thing. You're not restricted to just what comes in the launcher.
Yep.
No, totally agree.
Yeah, I do too.
So, it's a good.
Okay?
Yep. So,
we have 17 seconds left.
So at this point, I will say thank you everyone for coming out to the FTB. There will be a meet and greet outside of the hallway. Say hi to everybody. You have a break.
Everybody in the middle, so we can do a big selfie type thing if you want to do that.
And I'll sign off.